Addressing the issue of this House belief that Indonesian environmental activists should significantly aim for opposition in the government opposed to incorporation, here I am as the member of the government to really agree with what the opening government already said before. This is because the first one, she said that how in Indonesia the government position is more valuable for environmental activists to gain the goal. The first reason is because Indonesia is bad in environment. This is very clearly proven by the data provided by Environmental Performance Index on 20 and 22, which state that Indonesia environmental conservation is classified as poor on global and regional scale in the Asia Pacific. There is a lot of Indonesian people that is still destroy the environment, say just like forest destroy and using their own transportation in daily life. And let me give you the data provided by Indonesian Ministry of Environment and Forestry that already state that Indonesia's net deforestation in 2021 until 2022 is about 104,000 hectares. It means that government could not tackle it, but by having environmental activists in government, it will have more benefits. Why? The first one, because it can gather more about the problem, more about the environmental problem here in Indonesia. The second one is because we can create our own policy about our environment. It is proven by law of Republic Indonesia number 32 of 2009 concerning environmental protection and management, and it can lead to normalization and push the society to do it. Once we make a policy, we can push the society to always do it because it is a constitution. The example of the dope is the Article 104 about criminal sanction for dumping waste. It says that every person who dumps waste and or material into environmental media without permission, as intended in Article number 60, shall be punished with imprisonment for maximum 3 years and a fine of maximum 3 billion rupiah. And it will raise awareness of the environment, not only because of the policy, but here the environmental activists, when they already paying and the government, they can spreading environmental character, they can spreading the awareness of keeping the environment safe and healthy, especially for the children, for the teenager, and for all of Indonesian people. The second one, the opening government already said that how if we being being environmental activists and getting position in government will be able to help them achieve their goal. It will help the society to achieve their goal, which is to achieve the environmental health. The first one, the reason is because I want to strongly remembering what the opening government has already said before, that people know more about politicians rather than people in corporation. This is why you have to push the environmental activists to join the government rather than join the corporation. This is because the government have more exposure to the society. The government have more strong. They have a lot of strength to the society to talk. The people don't really care about and listen to people with no power. They are nobody. The society will not listen to people who are not the government members. So if the environment activists could build the legislative and create a laws about it, the laws will bind them up. The laws will bind the society up, that they could disagree no more. Let's move and let's stick to the data that I already prepared before. There are still a few environmental activists who have succeeded in occupying legislative seats as an extension of community tank. So, how we can solve our environmental problem if we don't have people representing our voices? Why this is happening? Ladies and gentlemen, all of the adjudicator? This is happening because people is just scared about politics, about human rights, and any other issues coming out without any thinking about environmental issues. Then what's the result? The result is our environment is the last option discussed, and the result is our living environment, Indonesia, becoming damaged and increasingly damaged day by day. Ladies and gentlemen, all of the audience, people right now often complain about extreme climate change without considering that the environment is an important aspect of it. This is the main problem, ladies and gentlemen, all of the audience. It is proven by the brain researcher present climate change data in Indonesia is way too high. Also, the researchers already said that climate change in Indonesia is way too high, it's way too extreme. But the people keep saying about the problem without thinking about the environmental change. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move to our argument. By occupying roles in regional administration, ministry, and legislative bodies, activists can advocate for sustainable development practice, conservation efforts, and the enforcement of environmental laws. Their presence within government structure ensure that environmental considerations are integrated into policy-making process at every level. Moreover, by joining the government, environmental advocates can act as moral guides within administrative structure. They can counteract established interests, ensure that public officials are responsible for protecting the environment, and promote policies that prioritize the well-being of our planet and communities over immediate finance benefit. In this way, they play a role in constructing the governance framework that is transparent, responsible, and environmental aware. We're not just influencing the society, but we also influencing the government to always look to our environment. It is because although corporate engagement play a vital role in advancing sustainable business practice, it can sometimes be hindered by profit-driven agendas that prioritize economic interests over environmental issues. Activists can certainly exert pressure on companies from that inside, but their influence may be restricted by corporate hierarchy, profit, and shareholder demands. Ladies and gentlemen, all of the adjudicator and all of the audience, the argument proposed that environmental activists in Indonesia ought to prioritize government position over corporate roles. This way, they can utilize government influence, gain access to resources, and effectuate systemic change that is critical for tackling the country's most urgent environmental issues. For the sake of our planet and future generation, let us improve this proposal and empower environment activists to spearhead the move toward the more sustainable future. Once again, I do really agree with this motion. I do really agree with the opening government already said that this House believes that Indonesia environment activists should significantly aim for opposition in the government as opposed to in the corporation. Thank you.